Perhaps most important, I really see a humanity in this judge from what she did while visiting that prison and to some other of her other opinions. And that is an attribute you want to see when you are arguing promissory estoppel, fair notice, any equitable defense really. And I'm sure that Ripple has done their research, knows all about this judge, and are tailoring their arguments to show her how a security designation at this juncture will harm thousands and thousands of XRP holders. Now that is the key to me. This judge needs to understand that this case is not only about Ripple the company or about multimillionaire company CEOs, but about the potential devastating impact an adverse ruling would have on tens of thousands of people who are and have been holders of XRP for years, some who have put their life savings literally into XRP. And if Ripple can get the judge to understand that, I think we have a judge who is willing to get past the Howey test and get to the truth of the matter. And that, I think, is how you win this case. Thanks again.
It's a currency.
Oh, good answer, man. I tell you, you've done your homework, Jimmy. Okay, there's a lot of speculation on the price of XRP after it becomes regulated, after regulatory clarity. Where do you feel that XRP, just based on your honest opinion, is going to hit, say, a month after regulation?
Yeah. So we believe that the last domino to fall on regulation right now is the SEC lawsuit, and that could be resolved in a variety of ways, but it could also be resolved in regulation coming in over the top. We know it's imminent, though, right? So when I say imminent, I would be surprised if a quarter from now we're really still embroiled in the SEC lawsuit, because I think the state of affairs throughout the world is such that we're going to need a solution like an XRP for liquidity purposes sooner rather than later. So the question is then, okay, we've magically resolved it. Where does the price go? It's easy to project that it's a double-digit number. So I think it immediately shoots up to a $10, potentially $20. The wild card to me is that there is actually a deal to be done among the central banks and governments to basically have XRP work as the world's bridge currency, a neutral asset that could be traded between the central banks to move a specific type of fiat to another type of fiat. If that's what occurs, it's back to what we were discussing earlier. It's got to cover kind of all the money. And I think you're looking at a range that XRP would settle on agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. And our lives will be, maybe the same, maybe different. I don't know. Probably a little different.
I think it'd be a little different, and it's just so
exciting. Bill Gates is off to such a celebrated start. While earning billions of dollars off his investments in the experimental vape industry, Bill Gates claims to be some sort of altruist. And all of pop culture media support this spurious tale. But remember when Bill Gates became the world's richest man as a result of ruthless business practices and abuse of powers? And remember the world's most evil corporation, Monsanto, creators of DDT, Agent Orange, and genetically modified foods? The company working tirelessly to replace all the world's organic seed banks with their own patented GMO varieties so they can one day own the entire world's food supply? Well, now Monsanto, along with agribusiness giant Cargill, are primarily controlled by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is also the biggest farmland owner in the U.S. Bill Gates says we all must eat GMO food, while aggressively working towards giving us no choice in the matter. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation sponsored the mRNA, which are now opening the gates to genetically modified humans, recklessly experimenting on the human genome in hundreds of millions of people. And now, Bill is preparing to block out the sun. Bill Gates is working with Harvard's David Keith on a stratospheric solar geoengineering experiment known as SCOPEX, wherein a kilogram of calcium carbonate particles will be released in the stratosphere to see how viable it will be at reflecting the light from the sun away from the surface of the Earth. They claim they want to lower the temperature of the Earth, despite the fact that nobody has any idea what this could do to the overall system of the planet.
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
In the film The Matrix, they tried to block out the sun in order to stop the man-made AI threat. But it ended up enslaving all of mankind in the Matrix. In the film Snowpiercer, the world tried blocking out the sun to stop global warming, but ended up triggering a cataclysmic ice age. And in the dystopian reality that we live in today, Bill Gates wants to save the world by blocking out the sun. We are told to trust him. We are told to trust the science, even though the so-called science is wildly theoretical, inconclusive, and universally challenged. Bill Gates does indeed embody the characteristics of an evil James Bond villain. But the real villains are obviously the degenerates of world governments and mainstream media who allow this damaged, deranged old man in a pink sweater to play out his father's dreams of depopulation and eugenics on the world stage, while at the same time protecting the big banks and multinational corporations who are orchestrating this entire war against humanity.